Welcome back, traders. This is Sandra with Trading Made Simple.
September is about a lot of the hedge funds are rebalancing their accounts. Typically speaking, there's a lot of volatility in the market. Now, the volatility is not necessarily good for a buy and hold, but typically that volatility is really good when it comes to trading, as well as with automation trading. And why is that? Because when you are an automator and you are letting your trades basically play out without watching them, you're really looking for a trend, right? Because automation is about trend trading. Now, granted, if you're an experienced trader that is a premium seller, so you're buying spreads, you're selling iron condors, credit spreads, etc. Even if you're buying debit spreads or butterflies as an example, you can still be an automator and be able to program your exits as well as your take profits with the tools that you already have on your platform. And the two platforms that we specialize this with is IBKR as well as with Thinkorswim. Now, these platforms are robust. And so during the months of September, just know for buy and holds that it's typically, and this is going back for decades, that typically September is not a good month for buy and hold because of the volatility. Now, a lot of the institutions, which I'm sure that most of us are part of, retirement funds and our money managers take care of, they actually do a lot of rebalancing in September. And this really causes, now remember, when you or I want to rebalance maybe our portfolio that's inside of Thinkorswim as an example, we're talking about maybe a couple $100,000 and we're moving positions around. It's not really causing a dent in the marketplace. But when you have an institution and several institutions all at once rebalancing, they actually have guidelines about how quickly they can move money from one asset to another asset. What that does is it really creates a lot of volatility in the marketplace. And so as they're moving their money into different asset classes, that typically will cause the volatility. As we have fourth quarter earnings reports, right? So every quarter we get earnings reports, which is another reason why there is volatility in the marketplace. And that's good for trend traders. So as an automator, we are typically trend traders, which means we don't care if the market goes up or if the market goes down. We want to be able to capitalize on the volatility. Why are we capitalizing on volatility? Because we want sharp movements to take us to the finish line. So as an example, if we look at the chart today, you can see, let's just take a look at SPY. SPY is a great indicator of what's happening in our marketplace. Now, granted, there are really four areas, right? So you have SPY, you have QQQ, they look like each other today. We have IWM, really more of like small caps. And then we have DIA, the industry, like sectors, restaurants, and so forth in our economy. And so as we take a look at that, typically speaking, people will look at SPY and the QQQ because it has a big market cap inside of our stock market. So when we take a look at SPY as an example and we're like, oh, look at this. We took a dip. We're above the 20 EMA, which is one of my favorite indicators to identify if we're either positive or negative, bullish or bearish, right? So right now we're above the 20. You can see we have a red candle on the day though, and we're hitting, you can see the support lines here that our indicator easily identifies levels of support. You can see where point of control is and then where levels of resistance is. You could see that when we're above that 20, we're rising, but we don't get too far away from it until we have to come and do a recheck. And then what did we do here? We did a double top and now we're testing that bottom here. And so as we look at a trend traders don't capitalize on the market if the market goes sideways. We capitalize during these periods right here. And the reason is because if we have a target, as an example, if this was our target to go long, we want the volatility, the momentum of the action to push us over to the finish line, which would be our take profit target. If not, what's going to happen is we're going to have a choppy market environment, and it may trigger your automations, long as well as short, but actually go absolutely nowhere. And that typically ends up being a lousy week for us. Now, last week, as an example, we had a great week. If you take a look at this movement, by the way, each one of these brackets, right, is a week's worth of candles. And what we do is we will automate our trades on a Sunday, looking for our automations to trigger by hitting one of our resistance levels or hitting one of our support levels. Now, as you get experienced, you can actually program your automations for not only one target, but you can go two targets and 3 targets, right? Knowing, though, that hitting the first target, you have a higher probability. And by the way, trading is all about probabilities. Hitting the first target has a higher probability than hitting the second or third target. When you have really strong momentum, you could really get the force, right, to maybe hit a couple targets. But as we take a look at the chart, here you have where we hit 2 targets, right? But typically speaking, if we hit 1 in a week, and we're really doing our automations for weekly income, okay? And so what does that actually mean that we're doing automations? We're basically looking at our charts or our watch lists. We're looking at levels that we can program in because we know what support and resistance is. We're giving you an indicator that shows support and resistance. Hey traders, if you're finding this helpful, go ahead and tap that and subscribe. We drop fresh trading setups and automation tips every day. And trust me, what's coming up next could level up your game. The links to learn more about us and our system is in the description below. And we're telling you, hey, look, if we break a certain level, we're going to the first target. If we break below a certain level, we're going to the first target. And you're basically just programming those in on the weekend, right? And we want you to gain the confidence in the system as well as on your platform. And we really want you to experience that for at least triggered trades. Now, triggered means that the automation triggered. You actually programmed your trades in, and on the weekend, that's when you're doing that. It typically takes about an hour if you're brand spanking new. After that, it takes you about 15, 20 minutes, depending on how many tickers you're programming. We really would like you to program a bullish ticker and a bearish one at the same time. So as an example for SPY, you're going to be programming a call as well as a put on SPY. And what this enables you to do then is to take advantage of volatility, and you don't care if the market goes up or down. You know what the levels are for support and resistance, and that's what you're using, right? And you're using trend to program those trades in. Now, what do? We're creating a system by, first of all, showing you that you can program your trades in on the weekend and let them write out during the week so you don't have to sit in front of your computer all day. We're giving you an indicator that identifies support and resistance so you could use those levels for programming. We're showing you in a very basic format what momentum is. That's this oscillator, and why momentum is so important. Now, if you're a trader that wants to learn everything about trading, awesome. I'm so glad you're here, because every single week when we come here, we talk about different topics so that you can learn from that. But really, as an automator, do we care if momentum is weak? We may end up taking the sidelines during a week of choppiness, but how do we really know that the entire week is going to be choppy? Because if you have an earnings event, like from a major company like NVIDIA or AMD or something to that effect, to Apple, you're going to get volatility in the marketplace. If you end up FOMC, so every morning, there's a list of economic events that take place. And typically, every single day, there's an economic event that's taking place. And each one of those events can be a catalyst for volatility. Even the economic events we don't know about can be a catalyst for volatility. And that could mean a tweet, right? It can mean what China's president said about war or peace. It can mean a lot of things. And so with that in mind, we're not saying that we know where the market's going. We're saying that we're prepared for it and we're using support and resistance. And by the way, major institutions already program their trades. Most of that is all done by computers, utilizing not only support and resistance, point of control, but volume and all other types of variables in our marketplace that are programmed in. These are rules that are set so that when something happens, that institution is either in or out of that position. And that's exactly what we're doing. This is a rule-based system that we're programming our rules and we're letting them play out. So there's no emotional attachment to it. In the beginning, there will be. You will be either excited. First of all, I think you're going to be super excited when the triggers actually happen. It's going to blow you away, not only as a beginner trader, but also as an experienced trader. If you're a beginner trader, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't even know about trading. I did exactly what she told me to do. And these trades are already triggering. So I'm already learning automation. And in hindsight, when you start learning about automation and you're wondering why this triggered, why this didn't trigger, you're already becoming a researcher, an investigator in trading. And so you learn a lot quicker than you would normally learn if I gave you a box of books and a box of DVDs, because that's how I learned how to options trade. And so you can have 2,000 hours worth of training, but if you don't actually do something with it, you lose it. And you either use it or lose it. That's really the deal here in life. And more professional educators and philosophers are saying it's the experience of doing something that creates either that passion or creates the experience of knowledge. And so that's what we are here today to do. So with Autopilot, you get the system to track your trades. We want you to at least do 30 trades. Why? Because I have coached thousands of students. And it seems like after about 30 triggered trades is when the light bulb pops on and they recognize not only how to call Schwab and ask a question and be confident about it, how to navigate their own platform and be confident about it, but also how to program their trades and find out what worked and what didn't and make those adjustments. And so after about 30 triggered trades, I believe most people will be confident enough to then say, this system's working and I want to move into real capital. We do everything on a simulated platform so that you can gain confidence in the skill that you are learning before you spend any money. We don't want you to go in there and just be willy-nilly. If you want to go gamble, go to Vegas. You're going to have way more fun than trading, okay? So today, that's the overview of what we do here today with Thinkorswim. And then also IBKR. I prefer Thinkorswim, but we do have a lot of Canadian clients that don't have the option to do Thinkorswim, and so they have to go with IBKR. A little bit more programming involved with IBKR, but not a bad thing, right? If that's the only platform that you have, and that's the only platform that has the technology, right? This is a robust platform that we have in front of us. If that's the only one that you have to use, I would definitely use it and learn it. And why is that? Because after trading for 25, 30 years, I can tell you that I know all the strategies and I know all of the automation now. And there's nothing like being able to put on trades, being part of the marketplace, being able to capitalize on the marketplace without sitting in front of your screen all day. And at the end of the day, whether you go to a third-party software company that wants to put something on your laptop or put something on your computer, which could get a little scary, if who's programming the software, right? Everybody's looking for the magic bullet of some sort of trading bot that's just money all by itself. It's got to be programmed, people. And who's programming? The humans. The humans are still programming the bot, right? And the marketplace adjusts. So we have to adjust with it. And that's why we do it weekly, by the way.